Yeah, my name is Ernande Altima. I am the founder of First Gen Rise, and it is a blog to kind of round up the first gens that are looking to figure out what's the best way to rise in their profession. And I have had my own experiences of not making it to the top, is how I imagined it to be, but the journey has been great. And there was a survey to figure out which topic you wanted, and it seems like the most favorable one was rejection. So my parents come from a Caribbean culture. I was born here, but I was raised in Caribbean values, and that was how I connect to being a first gen. I had many experiences that kind of made me feel different, but still true and bonded to the American country, and I am a proud American. And so, with that being said, I would like to share, just my journey as being a first gen. I'm not the first person to go to college in my family, but I'm definitely the first person to attend law school and graduate from law school. So it was a great experience to just be able to bring that to my family and bring that to my amazing parents that supported me through this whole thing called law school. And then passing the bar, and then also practicing law in Maryland. And so it's a phenomenal feeling to be the first in the family. My father definitely lifted me up in the air when he found out that I had, passed the bar. So it was a great feeling. With that also being said, the defining moment of when the blog was created was when I decided that, it's great to impart so much information into my interns, but I wanted to do this on more grander scale. And that's what I did. I decided, let me just start a blog and kind of have a clearinghouse of all this information so that people could go to it at a later date, even if it was not pertinent to them at that moment. And so the blog was created, and the vision of the blog is to be able to connect first gens and see examples of first gens in different areas or different professions, and also provide them with tips that will help them, and that's unique to first gens. And so there's a first gen college checklist. Forthcoming will be a first gen career prep journey with different videos that explain what to think about when you are looking at your first job, when you are thinking about interviewing and all those things. And so the goals are being met slowly but surely, but the overarching goal is to have a type of forum for first gens that are looking to figure out what they should be doing throughout their journey of becoming the first in their family in whichever profession they decide to go through. And so, as I stated, the topic that we'll discuss here is first gens handling rejection. It's very tough. We are told that, we are expected to be certain things, do certain things, and have certain roles within our family, within our profession, so that, the sacrifices that were made to become the first are not held in vain. And so with that being said, there's many things that I have done. My initial thought of going to law school was to be able to go in state, but that didn't happen. I did go to out of state law school, which is a blessing in itself because I did enjoy time away, from the state. But just to keep it in the professional realm, working with the senator was not my first interview. It was another position that I had interviewed for, which was an intern position, and it was to work with someone that was, also had just a full staff who may not have been able to give me the attention that I needed. But I was presented with this interview to interview with the senator shortly after the interview for an intern position. And so that was, eye-opening to me. And so I, was happy just to learn that I would have get the position to become chief of staff for a senator. So it was an amazing upgrade, I would say, definitely an upgrade to get this opportunity after being rejected by another senator for an intern position. So what could I have done in that moment? So when I did find out the news that I was rejected for the intern position, I just thought to myself, darn it, what am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to get ahead? I just quickly, took a few days, not a few days, I definitely took about 24 hours to think about what that meant to me and what was my next plan of action. And that's when I decided that I would just, approach a previous employer to see if there's any opportunities that they knew of. And lo and behold, there was this interview, the senator that I currently work for was interviewing for a chief of staff position. And so with that being said, I could have kind of, been upset, dragging my feet, not truly excited, not motivated, but I, forged through and decided to keep fighting, to keep reaching my goal of working for a senator. And then with, and I kept at it, and I continued to make sure that those opportunities were made known to me. So, in the moments of being rejected, my thing is to prepare for what could happen, prepare for plan B, and think to myself that, this might not work, or go according to plan. So I do need to think about what is my game plan for when it does not. But fully vesting into plan A no matter what, but still thinking in the back of my mind, this is what's going to happen. So, some of the questions that ran through my mind was I qualified? Was I overqualified? And what was made known to me by the senator was that I was overqualified for the position. Granted, I did come in with a JD, but at that time, everybody was, not really hiring. So I just felt I would just start with an intern position, and then I would work my way into it another way. So it's not even a personal rejection to me and my qualifications. It was more like, well, it was not a personal, it was just that I was overqualified. And another question that came to mind was, was it something that I did in a previous position, or was it my previous employments? And none of those things really happened. So some of the, questions that you may have is, may not totally be accurate. And so I like to get feedback from the people that I've interviewed with, just to kind of gauge what I could be doing better for my next opportunity. And many times that's what I have done to improve for my next interview. And every interview after that, I get better. So it increases my chances of getting a yes. And that's what the ultimate goal is, to get a yes on something that you really do want to be a part of and what you enjoy and see fitting for you in your future in that profession that you want to rise to. And so, having that information that is, held by the source, the interviewer, is important and vital, so that you can make sure that you present yourself for your next interview. So what I will say is, some people think, at some moments I was thinking, am I always going to be rejected? Am I always going to be the one that's counted out? And, that's not accurate at all. You definitely will not be counted out. It's just, with practice and different types of ways of improving your presentation, and also, looking to see what they're looking for in those qualifications, and having that conversation will improve or, increase your chances of, not being rejected. So it's never an attack on you. Don't ever think it's an attack on you. It's not. Or, like attack on me. That's what I think sometimes. But it's just, there's preferences. And, there's different kinds of checklists of what they see in you, their ideal candidate to be. And it's nothing that is directed personally towards you. It could just be certain things that they believe will be necessary for that position. Another positive way of thinking about rejection is knowing that it's unavoidable, and knowing that it's a necessary part of your professional development, because there's going to be certain things that will be rejected. Like there's plenty of times that where a case, I think there's certain, will be a seen likely or favorable on my client's behalf, but it has not been. And rejection has, or you may not get a leadership opportunity that you once wanted or thought you should be having. So it's very much a positive, necessary, vital thing of having. The other thing is that just know it's just a small bump. It's not long term. It's not forever going to be, stamped as a rejection forever and ever and ever. It's just a momentary bump in your life that will definitely be held or viewed as positive to you later on when more things start happening in your life and you see what you have avoided or what great things have happened since that moment of rejection. So my action to you, my call to action to you is think of a time when you were rejected. What was the outcome? What did you do? What was your initial reaction? What did you do in your first 24 hours? What did you do over the next 3 days since the rejection? And what did you do within the first week? And that's how you should think about your action plan and moving in the next direction to limit the number of no's, limit the number of rejections that, could happen. And so I say to you, rejection is never a terrible thing. There's certain things that we wish for and aspire for, but it's never a terrible thing. Whatever was that good moment could be something great later on. I have definitely, like I said, in my position currently, I was interviewing for an intern position. That was not long term at all. But then the rejection got me or led me to a very nice permanent position with a senator, and it's what was going to be a good opportunity, I got into a great opportunity. So I wish you all the best, first gens, and you will do wonderful in your future moments of rejection. But really reflect on it so that you know what to do and how you should be responding to it when it happens. Good luck.